lighthouse has saved countless ships and people's lives. And it did that by taking the light from a little lantern and shooting it out for about 15 miles. But how did it do that? Hey, I'm Alexis. I'm visiting the Marquette Harbor Lighthouse to learn more about how lighthouses on Lake Superior work. And what I've been learning is so cool, I wanted to bring you along. So this is the light that powers the lighthouse. Today it's an automatic light and it runs on electricity. When it gets dark, a light bulb inside this lens lights up and this plastic cap spins to make it look like the light is flashing on and off. For the most part, this light takes care of itself. You can turn it on at night and then go to bed and not really have to worry about it. But that hasn't always been true. One big question I had about lighthouses is how they work. Like, we saw this powerful electric light, but in 1866, when this lighthouse was first built, most people didn't have electricity. They used oil lanterns, like I mentioned earlier. Except oil lanterns aren't very big. You can, hold them in your hand, and their light normally doesn't shine very far. But this light sent out a signal for about 15 miles. So how? Well, let's head over to the Marquette Maritime Museum. I've got something to show you. Welcome to the Marquette Maritime Museum. You can learn all about Lake Superior here, but I wanted to show you this room. Specifically, I wanted to show you these lenses. They're called Fresnel lenses, and starting around 1820, they helped lighthouses shine their light to sailors miles away. There are different sizes of Fresnel lens, depending on how far you need your light to go. The Marquette Harbor Lighthouse used to have what's called a fourth order lens. It's about right in the middle as far as sizes of Fresnel lens go. Fresnel lenses are made of a bunch of carefully shaped pieces of glass arranged into sort of a dome like this one. Then the lighthouse keeper would put their oil lantern on a stand right in the middle. Together, the pieces of glass in a Fresnel lens work like a bunch of magnifying glasses. They capture almost all of the light shining out in all directions from the oil lantern and then reflect that light into one super bright, straight beam, like a giant flashlight. This makes the oil lantern way brighter than it would be on its own. So bright, it can shine for miles. Now, the reason we're at a museum right now and not over at the lighthouse is because today most lighthouses don't have Fresnel lenses like this. They've been replaced by electric lights that use a similar technology, but they're not quite the same. Still, the general idea behind Fresnel lenses has spread way beyond the lighthouse world. Engineers have taken this basic design and used it to make all kinds of things, including tools that have helped a satellite in space collect sunlight to power its equipment. Today, lighthouses help ships stay safe on Lake Superior, on the Great Lakes, and on seas and oceans around the world. And I loved getting the chance to learn more about how they worked and what it was like to take care of one. If you ever get a chance to visit a lighthouse or a lighthouse museum, try to see if they have the original Fresnel lens. And if it looks different from the ones we saw today, see if you can figure out why. For now, thanks for joining me on this trip to the Marquette Harbor Lighthouse. I'm glad you came.
This program was made possible by a grant from CTN, the Community Telecommunications Network.